everybody, how are you all doing today? Today we are going to be doing a book review on a book that I finished yesterday, and when I finished this book, my mind exploded into itty bitty pieces and I was like, I need to talk about this book. So here we are. And the book that we are going to be discussing today is Dangerous Girls by Abigail Haas. This book certainly fits its title because let me tell you, this is a very dangerous book. It will suck you in, it will grab your heart, suck out all of your emotions. I don't really know what I'm saying. This book is crazy and it will deceive you. This is one of those books where the entire time you're reading it, you have no idea how it's going to turn out, but you just know. You just know that whatever is going to happen at the end is going to blow your mind. And it's just incredibly frustrating, but so great at the same time. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I just want to give this book one big round of applause. And I'm not spoiling anything, I'm just letting you know that this is a mind-blowing book, and if you read it, you better watch out because your brain is gonna poof. So this book follows a girl named Anna, and she lives in Boston where she attends a very prestigious and preppy private college prep kind of school. This book follows Anna and her group of best friends as they are going away on a trip for spring break. They go to this island where they are staying in this big beach house because all of her friends are rich and they can afford that. However, this little vacation does not turn out exactly how they planned, and this is where this book gets a little bit insane. Anna's best friend, Elise, is tragically murdered. This book kicks off in the best way possible, and that is what sucked me in, because from the very first page, we start with a 911 call where they are reporting the death of Anna's best friend. There's actually a blurb on the cover here that says compulsively readable, hair-raising, and I feel like that's the best little snippet to describe this book is compulsively readable. Yes, that is exactly how I would describe this book. The layout of this book is really interesting because it goes back and forth. It takes place on the island after the murder has occurred, but it also switches back into the past. It is really interesting because as more events are unfolding in the present time of this book, you are also finding out more and more about things that happened in the past that totally change your perspective on the present. It's like a puzzle. As you find out more and more about the history of these characters, you begin finding more and more pieces to the puzzle of this murder case. I also really like the alternating settings of this book because it's kind of refreshing. It adds a lot of diversity to the book because one chapter you will have this tropical island to imagine, and the next chapter you get to imagine Boston or this preppy private school, and I like having those different kinds of visuals. Another really cool thing about the writing of this book is that it will sometimes switch off into transcripts. We'll have like transcripts of phone calls that have occurred or interviews, and usually I don't really like that, but how the author did it in this one was actually really cool, and I really liked it. Moving on to the characters in this book. I don't really want to talk too much about the characters because since this is a murder mystery, the characters need to kind of remain a mystery because while you're reading this, you're going to be finding more and more about them, and you're going to be wondering who the murderer is, and you find out a lot about these characters. But let's just say that I loved the characters in this book. I thought it was one of the most well done things about this because they were so thought out, and each of them had such a distinct personality. Characters are really the foundation of this book. I thought that Anna was a very relatable character, so I think she will appeal to many young adult readers. She's by no means perfect. She makes a lot of bad decisions in this book, a lot, and she can be kind of stupid sometimes. I'm not gonna lie, there were some moments where I was like, Anna, what are you doing? I didn't really know how I felt about Anna a lot of the time, but I really liked reading about her. I think this book actually is very unique because it has a lot of different genres kind of combined. I would almost say that this book alternates back and forth between a contemporary and a murder mystery, because we have these chapters that go into the past that are very much based on the social life of this group of teenagers. Those parts read very much like a contemporary, which I really enjoyed those parts. But then it also switches to the present, where we have these courtroom scenes as they're dealing with this murder and these interviews and prison. I think that ultimately that will make this a very likable book, and it will appeal to many different people. Even if you're someone that doesn't really read murder mysteries or anything like that, if you really like contemporaries, I honestly think that you would still really enjoy this book because it definitely does have that contemporary feel to it. So overall, I'm going to give this book a 5 out of 5 stars because I think it definitely deserves it. I think that more people should be reading this book. I didn't hear anything about this book before I happened to stumble upon it on Goodreads, which is very saddening to me because I feel like a lot of people would really enjoy this book. And I think it's a great book to read for the summertime also. So definitely go and check it out. I just want to really quickly do a little spoiler section because I do need to talk about the ending of this book. So if you have not read this book, please exit this video now. Just go read this book and then read the ending, and then your mind will explode, and then you can come back and you can watch this part. Spoiler section starts now. Alright, so let's talk about the ending of this book. Am I the only one that really had to sit and think about the ending once you finish this? Because when I first read the ending, I had to read it back like 10 times because I didn't fully understand what just happened. When it happened, I was like, wait, back up. I feel like also people kind of have different interpretations of the ending. I went and looked at discussions on the ending after I finished it because I needed to hear what other people thought of it because my mind was just spinning, and I was really surprised to see what other people were saying about the ending because I feel like actually a lot of people have different ideas of what happened. I understand that Anna is the killer. I know that, but everything else is kind of up in the air. It's confirmed that Anna is the killer, but then that leads you to so many other questions. It leads you to questioning her relationship with Elise. Was Melanie telling the truth in the courtroom when she said that she overheard that argument between Anna and Elise? I just can't believe that she managed to not only betray all of the characters in this book, but the reader. I think that is the most chilling and just spine-tingling thing about this book is Anna's ability to deceive even the reader. While I was reading this, I actually did think, what if Anna actually did do it? But I quickly wrote off that idea. We have access to her thoughts, and it just seemed so clear that she didn't do it. But she did do it. She did it. She's the freaking killer. Let's talk about the scene where Elise and Tate are sleeping together and Anna sees it happening and she locks eyes with Elise. Basically, that scene is alluding to the idea that Elise and Anna actually did have, I guess, sexual feelings for each other, but I don't know if I would classify them as sexual feelings, but definitely more than a friendship. How I perceive that scene, how it was written, is that Elise was then imagining that she was with Anna, not Tate. So that was very interesting. So that's pretty much all I wanted to say. I just needed to get that off my chest. I just needed to just talk about it. Yep, let me know what you guys thought about this ending because I also don't know that many people who have read this book. So if you've read this book and you're watching this, which I hope some of you are, I really hope, because I need to talk about this. So I think that is going to be it for today. I'm glad I talked about this. I have been thinking about that ending 24/7. I hope that you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. I hope that you all go and have yourselves a fabulous day, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!